let's see, they're down there. Oh, fuck, there's a box down there. Son of a bitch. I want that box. But, like, then there's, like, action-adventure, like, bosses. Like, I guess, like, the next 15 and 16 are action-adventure, so it's not like... Oh, come on. I want that box. So it's not like they're not doing that kind of thing. Oh, shit. Oh, well, looks like we're fighting it. Fuck it. Yeah, like the sphere grid level 1. Well, like, I think the first time I beat almost everything in 10, I hadn't cleared the sphere grids. Like, I have so, like 10 isn't even one of my favorite Final Fantasies, but my first save file of 10, I think I put, like, anywhere from 2,000 to 2,500 hours in. Like, I cleared and repopulated that sphere grid so many times. Like, my characters were, like, very, very beastie. So, like, there wasn't much that I couldn't take on and destroy. But, like, there's a lot of enemies in Final Fantasy X where it's just a matter of like swapping in and out certain things. Like, and usually the swapping in and out is specifically for taking Yuna in just so one of the summons can take the brunt of the damage. But, like, that can be said about, like, I find a lot of the other ones... Oh, Shin Tacos. I hate that fucking lightning move. That lightning move can just, like, eat a bag of dicks. But, like, a lot of bosses in general throughout the Final Fantasy series, especially everything pre-15, because, like, 15, 16, they're very action-adventure. But everything pre-15 is just basically finding out the proper strategy for keeping yourself healed. What is doing the most damage right now? Okay, so Ravager. Do I have a double Ravager one? Yes, right here. So I'm gonna fucking rake the shit out of you. But yeah, like, there's a lot of, like, that's what, like, if you look at Final Fantasy VII, for example, I think you can beat 7 at, I think, like, level 40 or 50. But you just have to, like, team up your materia in the proper way so that you're, like, healing, you're buffing, you're debuffing, like, all kinds of stuff like that, like... And, like, the same with, like, a lot of the turn-based ones. Most of it's just figuring out where the, I guess, the strategy in it is. Which is why I also like tactics games, because, like, tactics games, you gotta figure out, like, certain characters are better at, like, higher heights, like, you know, getting your range versus your, like, close quarters combat. But, like, I feel like a lot of action-adventure games, especially now, it's all just, it's all just, if they have, like, blocking and parrying, is figuring out how to do that properly. Or if it's not, just figuring out how to fucking dodge properly. Like, a lot of these action-adventure games, if you're good at dodging stuff and good at timing, like, the games, no matter, like, what fucking difficulty, are, like, tend to end up easy enough. And X2 were the only FFs I stopped playing before finishing. Just wasn't feeling them. Depending on where you stop in this one, I can almost understand it. This one is very, very linear up until the end of the game. That's one of the things that I didn't enjoy a lot about this one, is just the fact there's two main. Oh, I fucking died. I was in the middle of healing too.
Is it really over?
You fucking cunt. But, like, this one, two of the main factors that I don't like in this, and one of the reasons that I died here, is one being the fact that this game, up until like almost exclusively endgame, is fuck it, I'm not getting it. Screw it, I'm not dealing with these things right now. Is very like linear and one-sided. Like it's just you can't go anywhere else. Like you're stuck on this path. You can only go this way, and that's it until you get close to the end of the game, and then it's just like, okay, now you can go wherever you want. And the other thing that irked me a little bit is just how they cap you off, like strength-wise. Like this game, particularly, because I don't think they did it in any of the other Final Fantasy games, just the fact that they won't let you get stronger until, like, again, the end of the game. Like they cap all of your I guess classes, I'll just call them classes. But like they cap all your classes off at a certain strength until you get to a certain story progression. And then they cap it off again until a certain story progression, and so on and so forth. Unlike the other ones where it's just free reign and you gain, like, you just level up until you hit max level. Like this one, where are we at? Like, what do I have? Of course I can't move one, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I get these 5 here, she will not get any stronger unless I, like... I guess I can make her a little bit stronger, like upgrading her weapon. But, like, in terms of, like, abilities and stuff like that, I can't add more health, I can't add more strength, like, etc., etc. So I can understand, like, if people were to, like, drop this game specifically. What was it that you didn't like about 10-2? Like, what kind of held you up on that one? I am playing 13. I'm actually going through all of the Final Fantasy series. I've actually seen a couple people doing that on TikTok. We've already done 1 to 12, excluding 11 just because 11's an MMO, and I'll be excluding 14 as well. And not that I don't like them, it's just subscription fees and like just the sheer content of Square's MMOs is fucking ridiculous, even though they only have 2. All of my other ones so far are actually, most of the episodes anyways, I have them released on a bi-daily basis, are posted on YouTube. So everything up until most of 12, but everything from 1 up until 10 are up on YouTube. I'm also doing all of the Star Ocean games as well. We're currently on Star Ocean 3. We play that every second day, so right now we're doing Final Fantasy 13, and tomorrow we'll be doing Star Ocean 3. The costume system and the storyline. Oh, okay. No, I can definitely understand that. They definitely did like a different way for X2. The costume system, I enjoyed it like more than most, just because they made like they made an homage to the job system that they had in previous Final Fantasies. Like there were not one, like one obviously didn't really have a job system, but you got to pick your class. But there was the first couple, I think 2, 3. Yeah, I think it was 2 and 3. You could like change your job classes, and then obviously tactics. You can change your job. But that's what they were kind of playing homage to with the dress sphere system. But like I can understand where that would irk some people a little bit. But as for the story, especially where she like. I feel like they could have went a little bit more serious with it, especially where she was trying to find Titus. Or Tidus, like, I don't know, like, I know they said Tidus in fucking Kingdom Hearts, but I don't know, like, if that's the actual pronunciation of it. Oh, I'm the same way, too. Like, even just, like, my peak, RPGs and games in general are the Super Nintendo, PlayStation 1 era, just because I find those ones had the most thought, like in my opinion, like the most thought put into them for story-wise, just because they were limited with graphics. They couldn't do a lot with their graphics and stuff like that with games like this for like PlayStation 3, like these are beautiful. And Square has always been, in my opinion, like,
You look tired.
top of the mark for, like, their graphics when it comes to, like, whatever console they're on.
Not surprising.
Because, like, and, like, they made, like, leaps and bounds with it, too. Yeah, Chrono Trigger. Well, Chrono Trigger was Super Nintendo. Well, Super Nintendo first and then PlayStation, if I remember correctly. And then they just added the anime cutscenes into the PlayStation version. But, like, when you look at the jump from just, like, Final Fantasy VI and Chrono Trigger, like, they have two vastly different art styles. Two vastly different art styles for, like, games that were on the Super Nintendo. Like, Final Fantasy VI was absolutely beautiful.
And I'm kind of worried.
And then you look at Chrono Trigger and how they, like, tweaked that, like, system in a different way and, like, made everything so smooth. Like, just the going from those
You know?
to, like, the squared off characters 7, because that was, like, it was a big jump in graphics just because, like, how they could interact with things. And then going from the look of 7 to the fucking polished style of 8 in fucking, like, just a jump like that was wild. Like, the graphical difference between, like, 6 and 7 was like, okay, like, they're trying to do something different. They've obviously got bigger characters. They're not limited by pixels. I think it was like the polygons was what the PlayStation was using. So they went away from pixels to polygons. So obviously there was going to be like a huge graphical difference. Oh, of course, 13 is beautiful. But like there was a huge graphical difference between 6 to 7 just because, you know, the use of a different type of media, brand new system, and stuff like that. But then going from like the very unpolished square look of 7 to like this rounded off, like very clear cut looking like Final Fantasy 8. Like 8 is one of my favorites. Just like whether it be let me check my map here just because I want to make sure I don't miss anything. But like just with like the storyline and some of the extra stuff that they put in. I'm supposed to go over there first because I'm obviously going down, but okay. But like when you look at the just the models in general, but then you look at the cutscenes. 7, 8 to 9, exactly. And like you look at like 7 to 9, just like the sprites in general, like the characters, like 7s were really blocky. And 8s were like very close to this. Like it was just like a downgraded, like, cause these are very, very polished. But like it was like a downgrade of the way like these characters were.
Don't hurt yourself.
But like when you look at the cutscenes in comparison to even just the sprites in the game, and then the predecessor, because if you look at like when you go the gameplay and stuff for 7 to the cinematics for 7, there was like it was a noticeable jump. But when you went from like the gameplay graphics to the combat graphics, I guess like the sprite graphics to the cinematic graphics in 7, and then to the combat graphics, because like the combat graphics for 7 were like even more pristine in my opinion than the cutscenes, aside from like the backgrounds and like the airships and stuff like that. But when you look at like the walking around graphics from Ace to the combat graphics from Ace, and then the giant fucking leap to the cinematics in Ace, like the cinematics in Ace were like fucking mind-blowing. Like that opening cinematic for 8 was wild. And then like 9, when you look at 9, and I realized 9 went back to like more of like the fantasy aspect and like more of like the cartoony look of everything, because like everybody was like really short and stuff like that. But like when you look at how like just overall polished 9 was after like the huge jump from 7 to 8 was nuts. And then like the same thing when like, because all of those were PlayStation 1, and when you look at them comparatively to a lot of other games on the PlayStation 1, they far exceed like the graphics. And don't get me wrong, like there was some other franchises and other companies who put out some really good graphics. But when you look at like the consistency of Square when they put out like anything, like any of their games, and like their cinematics are just fucking ridiculous. But then you like take the jump from 9 to like the PlayStation 2 and go to 10, like their graphics jump was just as substantial as it was from like 7 to 8. And like don't get me wrong, like from like 8, 9 to 10 they still had like the really well fleshed out characters. But like when you jump to their cinematics for 10, like it's just like, what are you even doing? Like this is crazy. And then like we'll skip over 11 just because like I didn't play enough of 11 to see. No one can hear you. 13.2 was better, but you enjoyed 13. I like the time jumping and stuff like that from 13.2. Favorite of the modern ones was 12. Really? 12's actually one of my least favorite from like the modern ones, mainly just because like the combat didn't really get me. Like it didn't really do what I wanted, especially like just the way it played out. Because I feel like that, like for me anyways, like that kind of combat system I find works best in an MMO setting. Just because like trying to jump back and forth from each of those characters like that in a non turn-based combat setting is like, it can be a little irksome at sometimes, especially how it like really pauses everything, because the second you go to try and use an ability or anything like that, it like stops everything. I did play the Zodiac version of it. That's the one we did on stream. I miss the fact that I miss it, but don't miss it at the same time. The fact that they had like the open license board from like when they first put it out. But I also like the fact that they did the job system, because I hate and like it irks me about 8. It irks me about 10. It irks me a little bit less about 7, because 7 you kind of can't do all of it at once. But the big thing that irks me about like 10 and 8 is nobody is special in those games. Aside from like Yuna in 10, because she's the only one that can summon. But like 8, 10, 11 I guess I'll call it a job board as opposed to a license board, is the fact that absolutely everyone in the game could be absolutely every class at the same time. So, like, when you sit there, it's like no character is special. It doesn't matter what your lineup is. Like, every single person is a viable pick in those games. And don't get me wrong, like, if they're a main character in the story, they should be, like, a viable character. But it's the fact that, best 3 to use in this game? I don't really have a huge opinion on that. Because, like, most of them, once you get, like, all the job boards opened up, you can pretty much switch them, like, back and forth. Hey, Aquarium, what's going on? But, like, you can pretty much, like, switch them back and forth just for the, like, with whoever you pick. You just have to make sure you put the proper gear and upgrade everybody's stuff to the way that you want it, and you can literally pick anybody. But, like, so I guess it irks me in this, too, a little bit, but, like, they kind of cut it off for the most part until you get to late game in this one. Remake all the Lightning games. I'd love for them to re-release the Lightning games, just because the only place you can get them right now, aside from the PlayStation 3, is Steam. But I only seen 13 and 13.2. I didn't see Lightning Returns on Steam, unless I just wasn't searching for the right thing. But, like, back to, like, the jobs, like, especially 10, like, 10 aside from Yuna, 10 aside from Yuna, there was no character that had any unique ability about them. Like, I guess Kilmari, where he could, maybe I'll turn it back rainy. Oh no, I meant to look around, I guess. But like, Kilmari was basically like a blue mage, but like that was only for his fucking limit break. So if like you look at it, like he's still not hugely like important in terms of like being unique in the game. Because like he had unique limit breaks, like every other character in the game. Like, you know, Titus has unique limit breaks. Auron has unique limit breaks. Like, I guess the only person in that game other than Yuna that would be, like, unique in a way would be Wakka, because he's really good at, like, doing easy damage, like, easy good damage to flying enemies. But, like, if you get your speed up enough, then same thing it goes back to is everybody's good at that. So, like, same thing with Ace. Ace, everybody could be a summoner, everybody could be a mage, everybody could do fucking massive amounts of melee damage. So, like, again, in that, nobody was very unique aside from their limit breaks. And I don't think limit breaks and limit breaks like that are a viable enough option to make them unique as a choice. It's turn-based in a sense, I guess. No, it is turn-based. But, like, everybody in... Oh, I didn't mean to go here. This is gonna suck. But, like, you can... I'm playing on PC. Because, like, this is all turn-based, but if you look around while the turn-based is going, like, people are moving and, like, enemies are moving. So it's got, like, a slightly different play on the turn-based. Just because, like, if enemies get close to each other, you can do group attacks. Like, you can hit more than one person at once. Like, I just... Oh, never mind, there's one of them. But I eliminated 2 of those characters at the same time. Till this day, I can't beat the Titan Trials. I believe I did the Titan Trials the first time I played it. The one thing about 8 I didn't like was the draw system. It definitely did, I definitely agree with that. Like, the draw system definitely slowed down combat in 8. This game, oh my god, like, it's gotta be early 2000s. Like, it's probably 20 plus years old. But yeah, like, I enjoyed the draw system because it made you think about what you did with your magic. Like, 100%, like, it made you think what you were, like, do I want to use this magic? Because, like, if I've got it equipped on something, then it's going to, like, affect how I do in battle later on. But, like, at the same time, it's, like, you know, like, something to kind of, like, make you strategize. But, like, once you junction magic properly in Ace, you don't need magic. Like, aside from maybe, like, Aura, just to keep yourself at high health while you're using limit breaks. Thank you for the share. Well, before he uses that fucking lightning motherfucking move. But, like, yeah, so, like, that's the only, like, downside I can see from it. Like, the draw system anyways. But, like, if you train yourself properly, you can just get, like... I guess it doesn't bother me as much because, like, I grind in games, so, like, grinding has always been a part of my playstyle, which is why this game kind of irks me a little bit, because I can't make myself as strong as I want. But, but, like, if there's a place right outside the start of the game in 8, right outside of Balam Garden, you just have to go to the beach, literally, like, right out front, and just, I think it's grinding Falcons. I completely forgot I could do that. Stagger point 15, common drop, rare drop, fires halved, immune, have. Okay, like, this guy's just a fucking beast. I don't know why I just did fire. Gonna fucking heal here. But, like, and, another thing to make 8 even easier is to just leave Squall dead all the time. Leave Squall dead, level up every other person in existence, and fucking the game becomes 10 times easier because like the monsters in the game, I can't remember which one's correct or not. I've said this a few times, but the level of the monsters in Ace, missed my PC, just got a new GPU. The Indiana Jones games, Indiana Jones games game looks really, really good. But like the Fast Falcons training at the start of the game, like just train 2 of the characters, keep Squall dead for like almost the whole fucking time, and level up the other 2. The monsters will level with the average of your party, but then at the same time the magic also levels with those monsters. So start of the game you can have like Firaga, Curaga, Thundaga, Blizzaga, and then equip that to your stats and just like tank everything in the game. Like you can just destroy everything, especially with Squall being such a low level. It drops the average of the party by so much, because I can't 100% remember if the monster levels are based off of your party average or just Squall's level, because I've heard both. I'm pretty sure it's the party's average level, but like I'm not 100% on that. Only made it to Chapter 1. Chapter 1 is really short. Is it just you didn't get a chance to get into the rest of it? Or do you mean Chapter 1 in Indiana Jones? I'm pretty sure after reading that now you mean Indiana Jones. Because this game is also segmented by chapters, so I was like, what? Are we talking about this? Indiana Jones? And I was like, Last Combat was Indiana Jones. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, I watched one of the side-by-side comparisons of, like, the temple with the boulder, and, like, the side-by-side of, like, the fucking movie versus the game, and I was just like, that's wild. Like, that's fucking wild, like, how close they got, and, like, how close they went with the source material, which is even better. Like, you know, especially when you get, like, a franchise like that. I built a fancy new PC three weeks ago. Oh, yeah, that would be heartbreaking. Like, what are you in the hospital for? Like, is it, like, hopefully it's not anything serious. But, like, you never know. The only downfall of building, like, a desktop, not being able to fucking take it with you. Well, obviously, if you don't mind me asking, I don't want you to answer any questions that nobody needs to know about. Because obviously some things you want to leave confidential. Oh, okay. Huge surgery on the stomach. Oh, okay. No, that's not good. Hopefully it's nothing like hopefully it was just something that's like going to help you in the long run. Like you don't have to elaborate on anything. I know there's like ridiculous amounts of different surgeries that you can get, like stomach related. I've had people with like different ulcers and stuff like that. Like I've known people that have gotten like the gastric bypass or whatever it is. I can't 100% remember the name of it. But like they're, you know, just different things. Hopefully it's nothing like overly serious. Hopefully it's just something that, you know, you needed. It was there. You're gonna be out in no time. Fuck you and your electric breath. Will help in the long run. I got. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Hopefully you're out soon enough. Canadian as well, because I know that would have cost you a pretty penny for sure. That took a long time. East Coast. What is going on here? gonna have to go up there because I feel like there's probably a fucking treasure chest up there that I don't have now. Oh, nice, nice. I have never been. I've only been to a few places in Canada. Been to New Brunswick. I've been to Quebec. And I was in, I think, Toronto for a little stint when I was going to New York for a week. Montreal. That's where I was when I went to Quebec. Courtship dance, how dare you? No courtship in the middle of battle, that's wrong. This is a serious encounter, sir. Or I guess... No, I can't really tell, because you're frogs. I'd love to go to some more places. Because, like, I love to travel. Even though I haven't traveled a lot. That's exactly what it was. The courtship dance. You're just waving its ass around going, yeah, come on. Come on. Come on. You're just, like, in the middle of battle. And it's just like, what are you even doing? Like, come on now. This is a serious time. This is not how you go. I'm into it. Oh, you're one of those monster people. I understand. I know. Are you on book talk most days? No. The people that know will know. The people that don't know will be confused, and they'll search for it, and then they'll be like, oh my god, what have I done? It's like, God, no! God, no! I know there's at least one book talk person going, yeah, I understand.